Good morning, students. Welcome in next lecture of Math F 211 Mathematics 3. So presently we are studying the last topic, partial differential equation. In that we have to cover the two topics, one-dimensional wave equation and one-dimensional heat equation. So in last class I have given you the idea about the one-dimensional wave equation. Now today we will cover the one-dimensional heat equation. So one-dimensional heat equation or heat equation arise when when there is the flow of the heat in a wire is the one dimensional object. At some point you are giving the heat, right? At some point you are giving the heat. So after some time the whole rod or whole bar will become the will become of uniform temperature, right? Means at this direction the heat will flow from high temperature to low temperature. Heat will flow, and after some time the whole rod will become at the steady temperature. So in this case, if you assume that let W is the temperature, so this temperature depend over the position at what point you are studying, and it depend over the time after what time you are measuring the temperature. So here the equation of one dimensional flow of heat along a bar is in the form, it is the del W by del T is equal to A square del 2 W upon del x2. Means as I have told you that W is nothing, it is function of x and t. It is function of x and t. So here we compute here we W is function of independent variable x and t. X is the position, t is the time. So its governing equation for one dimensional heat equation will be del W by del T is equal to A square del 2 W upon del x2, where A square is nothing, it is the K upon C rho, where which is known as diffusivity of material, where K is proportionality factor or thermal conductivity, rho is density of the bar, mass per unit volume, and C is the specific heat of the substance. So here now consider the flow of the heat by conduction. Here we have the flow of heat by the conduction. Means there is no flow of heat to the atmosphere. Right? There is no flow of the heat to the atmosphere. There is no loss of the heat through the atmosphere. There is only the heat of the flow through the conduction process, right, in the bar only. And here we consider whose sides are insulated. Sides are insulated means we have the flow up to the this rod only. There is no loss outside this rod. So assume that the loss of the heat from the sides of the var by conduction conduction of radiation is negligible. Means there is no loss. Only there is the flow of heat, right? The temperature W at any point of the var depends upon the distance from one end at a time t. So here we are measuring the distance. Let us say this is the x is equal to 0. So we measure the distance. Let's say this point we are talking. So this point is x distance far up from the one end. So at this point we compute the temperature W, which is now the function of t. Means at the position x after the time t we compute the temperature. Now let A be the cross sectional area of the var. Now here we have to find the solution. So we know that the for the partial differential equation we have the various method, but we will use only the method of the separation of the variable, method of separation of the variable. So for the heat equation, we have the two cases. Two cases are as it like this: both ends at the zero temperature. Means here we have the rod. So at this place W is zero. At this place W is zero. Right. So how is it possible? So they are saying that initially the rod is at the temperature Fx. Initially the rod is at the temperature Fx. Right. Fx means at this point we have some temperature, at this point we have some temperature, at this point if we have some temperature, or it may be the uniform. It may be the uniform. Then we say Fx is equal to some constant. And suddenly we keep the boundary, right? We keep the corner, we keep the end point at the temperature zero. So as and we kept at that temperature, we kept at that temperature. So what will happen? With the time, this Fx tends to zero throughout the rod. So suppose that uniform var insulated over the sides has the temperature W is equal to Fx initially. Its end faces x is equal to 0 and x is equal to pi are suddenly cooled to 0 temperature, 0 degree centigrade, and maintained at the temperature. Determine the subsequent temperature at the subsequent time. So you have to determine how the heat will flow, how the heat will flow throughout the rod at the different position at the different time. That we have to determine. So in this case what we are saying that at the x is equal to 0, at the x is equal to W is equal to 0, at the x is equal to 0 or pi, at the x is equal to pi, W is equal to 0, and at the t is equal to 0, at the t is equal to 0, W is Fx, W is Fx, that is given to you. So the temperature at every point of the var will be governed by the heat equation or one dimensional heat equation del W by del T is equal to A square del 2W upon del x2. So as I have told you, W is what? W is function of position and the time. So let's say this position we govern with the function capital X, and this temperature we govern with the function capital T. Let's say let us assume W is product of the two independent function X and T. Right. So we take the W is equal to X into T, where X, capital X, is explicit function of the X, capital T is the explicit function of the small t. So here, uh, from here, if you compute del W by del W by del T, so this will become X dt by dt, right? Because W is the function of X and T, we are using the partial derivative, and capital T is the function of explicit function of small t, so we are using the ordinary derivative. And del W by del W by del X will become T del X by del X, and del 2W upon del X2, that will become the T d2 d2x upon dx2 dx2. So uh, so the our partial differential equation will become, uh, here it will be the del W by del T, that is the x dt by dt is equal to a square, and this can be written as d2x upon dx2. So when we separate the variable, when we t, so when we separate the variable, it will become 1 upon a square t dt upon dt is equal to 1 upon x d2x upon dx2. Means on one side we keep the variable t, and on another side we keep the variable x. Now here we assume that let this is equal to the three constants, either 0 or positive, right, or positive, or the negative, right? So here it will give you the three equation, right, as same as we have discussed in the eigenvalue. So first one will become d2x upon dx2 is equal to 0 and dt by dt is equal to 0. So let us see, this is the case first. Then we have second one is d2x upon dx2 minus m square x is equal to 0, dt by dt is equal to m square a square t. Right? This will give you the case second, and this is for the case third, case third, and this is for the case first. So here we have the case second. So d2x upon dx2 is equal minus m square x is equal to 0 and dt by dt is equal to m square a square t. Now, in the case third, we have the d2x upon dx2 plus m square x is equal to 0 and dt by dt is equal to minus m square a square t. Now we have to determine the solution, which case is suitable for the our case. So you know that in case of the flow of the heat after the infinite time, the complete rod will become at the zero temperature, because we are keeping the end point at the zero temperature. So after the infinite time, right, it should the complete rod should be at zero temperature. So here that is true. So for the case first, the general solution will be the x is equal to ax plus b and t is equal to c. T is equal to c. For the case second, the general solution is x is equal to a e to power mx plus b e to power mx. So this is saying that after the infinite time, the temperature will remain c. Right? So this case we have to discard. This will say that after the infinite time, the temperature will become the infinite. So this case also we have to discard. Now we have the case third. So case third is x is equal to a cos mx plus b sin mx and t is equal to c e to power m square a square t. So this says that t tends to 0 as t tends to infinity. So this is the uh, case, right, which we can consider. Now, so using this solution, we will proceed with the boundary condition. What are the boundary condition? That x is equal to at the x is equal to 0, whatever the time, right? Whatever the time, our temperature is 0. At x is equal to pi, whatever the time, the temperature is 0. So these two are the boundary condition, and initial condition is initial the temperature of the rod is the fx, right? Whatever the x 0 to pi, so depending over this, and whatever the temperature, whatever the time, so wx0 is equal to 0. So this is the initial condition. So we are considering the third solution. So when we put in the third solution, so the third solution is appropriate, right? First and second are ruled out. Why we are considering the third condition? Because in the third condition only we have the t tends to 0 as t tends to infinity. So now in the third solution, we put the boundary condition and the initial condition one by one. So here we have the what is the w? W is the x into t. X is what? X we have computed as a cos mx plus b sin mx, and t we have computed as a c e to power minus m square a square t. So that is the a cos mx plus b sin mx into c e to power minus m square a square t. So if you write the a into c as a a1, b into c as a b1, so it will become a1 cos mx plus b1 sin mx e to power minus m square a square t. So using the three first, right, the boundary condition, using the three first, we have the w0, w at x is equal to 0 is equal to 0. So as we put x is equal to 0, right, as we put x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, so we know that sine 0 is 0 and cos 0 is 1. So this will become a1 e to power minus m square a square t, and we know that this is not equal to 0. So if this is not equal to 0, so we have to consider that a1 is equal to 0. So when a1 is equal to 0, when a1 is equal to 0, our solution reduced to b1 sin mx e to power minus m square a square t. Now, when we put second boundary condition w at x is equal to pi, w at x is equal to pi, right, is equal to 0, is equal to 0. So it will become b1 sin m pi e to power minus m square a square t is equal to 0. So naturally b1 cannot be 0, b1 cannot be 0, e to power minus m square a square t cannot be 0. Otherwise we have the trivial solution. For the non-trivial solution, we have to consider b1 is non-zero. So only we can take 0 as sine m pi. So when sine m pi is equal to 0 and 0 is equal to sine n pi for n is equal to 1, 2, 3. So it will give you m is equal to n. M is equal to n. So your wx will become b1 sine n pi, right? In place of the m, we have the sine n pi e to power minus n square a square t. Let's say it is the wn, let's say it is the wn, and instead of the b1 you take the bn, and here this is true, this is true, right? And now you can say this is the wn is equal to bn sine n pi e to power minus n square a square t, and not n pi, nx, sine nx, right? Sine nx e to power minus n square a square t. So and this is for the n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So if you compute the general solution, so general solution is nothing, it is the sum of all solution. So n is equal to 1 to infinity. So here we have the general solution as, general solution will be the wxt is equal to summation n is equal to 1 to infinity wn xt. So wn will become n is equal to 1 to infinity bn sine nx e to power minus n square a square t. So when the t is equal to 0, now we write the we put the initial condition. So initial condition is what? When we put t is equal to 0, wx0 is equal to fx. So when we put the t is equal to 0, here we have the summation n is equal to 1 to infinity bn sine nx, which is the if you look this, so it is look like the Fourier sine series, right? Fourier sine series. So Fourier sine series. So where bn is what? Bn will be the Fourier coefficient. Fourier coefficient. So we know that from the Fourier series chapter, bn can be computed as 2 upon pi 0 to pi 0 to pi fx sine nx into dx. So in this way we write the solution. So this is the solution, right? And here we have the value of the bn. Let us take one example. A rod of length pi with insulated sides is initially at the uniform temperature W naught. So W naught is what? Whatever we have the Fx. Its ends are suddenly comes to 0 degree centigrade and are kept at the temperature. So its end we keep at the 0 degree centigrade. Find the temperature of the Wx2. So it is given to you here, the Fx is equal to W naught. So we know that just now we have derived that W is what? It is the summation n is equal to 1 to infinity bn sine nx e to power minus n square a square t, with bn is equal to 2 upon pi 0 to pi fx sine nx dx. So fx is given to you as a W naught. So 2 W naught upon pi 0 to pi sine nx into dx. So this will become 2 W naught upon pi, and sin nx integration is minus cos nx upon n in limit 0 to pi. So minus 2 W naught upon pi n, and this will become cos of n pi minus cos of 0. So cos of n pi will be the minus 1 to power n, right? So it will become minus 1 to power n minus 1, or it can be written as 2 upon w naught upon n pi into 1 minus 1 to power n. So when n is even, so minus 1 to power n will become 1. So 1 minus 1 0. So that will give you b2n as a 0. When n is odd, so this will become minus 1. So right, so it will be the b2n minus 1 as a 2 w naught, 2 w naught upon 2 w naught upon n pi, n in, or pi into 2n minus 1 into 2. So that will become the 4 w naught upon pi 2n minus 1. So here wxt will become summation n is equal to 1 to infinity, right? 4 w naught upon pi 2n minus 1 sine of 2n minus 1 x e to power minus 2n minus 1 whole square a square t. That is the solution. So in this way we solve the heat equation. Now, another one is the another case second, steady state temperature. Steady state temperature means after some time there is no change in the temperature. Whole rod will become at the steady state. That is the there is no change. There is no change in temperature with time. That is the dw by dt is equal to 0. Heat equation reduced to del 2 w upon del x2 is equal to 0, or it will become dw d2w upon, now it is on it is independent of the temperature, time. It is independent of the time. So the partial derivative will become the ordinary derivative because it depends over only the position. So dtw upon dx2 is equal to 0, or dw by dx is equal to a, or w is equal to ax is equal to b. So when we have the boundary condition is what? These are the boundary condition, right? Boundary condition. So boundary condition is what? Boundary condition is w, at x is equal to 0, w is w1. At x is equal to pi, w is w2. Means at the time t is equal to 0, at the x is equal to 0, at the position x is equal to 0, temperature is given to you w1. At the distance pi, or at the another end, temperature is the w2. So when we have the different temperature at the two end, so there is the flow of the heat from higher temperature to the lower temperature, and after some time it will become the uniform at the uniform temperature. So in this case w is w2. So when we put the x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 and w is equal to w1, we have the b is equal to w1. B is equal to w1. So w will become ax plus w1. When we put x is equal to pi, so x is equal to pi and w is equal to w2. So it will become the w2 a pi plus w1. So a is equal to 1 upon pi w2 minus w1. So that is the w will become the w1 plus 1 upon pi w2 minus w2 minus w1 into x into x. That is our solution. So let us have some more question over the wave equation and the heat equation. The point of trisection of a string are pulled pulled aside through the distance b on opposite sides of the position of the equilibrium, and the string is released from rest. Derive the expression for the displacement of the string at any subsequent time, and so that the midpoint of the string is always remain at the 0. So it is given to you. We divide the string, right, in the three parts, and the first and second part we keep aside by the distance b, like this, whatever the figure it is given. So here from the point a we have stretch on the positive side, and at the point 2a we have stress on the negative side. Then we release. So here it means the initial deflection will be fx is equal to from here. So here the coordinate is what? 0 comma 0. Here the coordinate is a comma b. Here the coordinate is 2a comma minus b, and here we have the coordinate 3a comma 0. So from here, now you know how to write the equation of line. Y minus y1 is equal to y, right? Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. So using that, we have the value of the fx as bx upon a for the x between 0 to a, and then b into 3a minus 2x upon a for the for the x a to 2a, and b into x minus 3a upon a for the interval 2a to 3a. And it is given to you, you have to release the string with zero velocity. That is the initial velocity is gx is given to you 0. And wave equation, we know wave equation is d2y upon dt2 is equal to c square d2y upon dx2. And its general solution, we know that yxt summation yxt is equal to summation n is equal to 1 to infinity cn cos of n pi t upon 3a sin n pi x upon 3a, right? So it will become where cn is equal to 1 2 upon 3a integral 0 to 3a fx sin n pi x upon 3a into dx. In general, I have given you the formula in terms of the L. So just we break this integral to 0 to a to 2a, and 2a to 3a. So and corresponding fx we write. So 2 upon 3a b upon a integral 0 to a x into sine of n pi x upon 3a into dx, a to 2a 3a minus 2x sine of n pi x upon 3a dx, plus 2a to 3a x minus 3a sine of n pi x upon 3a into dx. So on integration, so here we integrate by parts. So on integration, you have 18b, you have the 18b n square upon n square pi square into 1 minus 1 to power n into sine n pi by 3, which can be written as when n is odd it is 0, when n is even it will become 36b 36b upon n square pi square sine n pi by 3, right? So here y will become, it is the right, it is the position of the point of the string. So yxt will become 36b upon pi square summation m is equal to 0 to infinity 1 upon 2m square sine of 2m pi by 3 plus cos of 2m pi upon 3 into ct sine of 2m pi x upon 3a, or 9 upon b pi square summation m is equal to 0 to infinity 1 upon m square sine of 2m pi by 3 cos of 2m pi ct upon 3a into sine of 2m pi x upon 3a. So at x is equal to 3a by 2. So when we say when we put x is equal to 3a by 2, you will observe that here we have the y is equal to 0. right? Because here the 3a and 3s cancel out, 2 and 2a cancel out, and sine of m pi, right? For all m, 1 to infinity, for all m it is 0. So here you can observe that middle point will be always at rest. We have the we have the vibration, right? We have the vibration, right? But always the midpoint will be at the same point, will be at the same point. Never it will displace. Now let us have the another question. Find the temperature in a rod of length L, with the conductivity K, which is at the uniform temperature 50 degree centigrade. Suddenly at T is equal to 0, the end x is equal to 0 is cooled to 0 degree centigrade by an application of the ice, and x is equal to L is heated to 100 degree centigrade by application of steam, and these two temperature are maintained at the ends. Means the one end is will be always at the 0 degree centigrade, and another end will be always at the 100 degree centigrade. So as the time elapsed, the whole rod will become of uniform temperature from 0 to 100. Initially it is at the 50 degree centigrade. Furthermore, the rod is insulated along its length so that no transfer of the heat can occur from the sides. So actually, initially at the T is equal to 0, temperature is 50 degree centigrade, right? At that after means at the T is equal to 0. Now at the T is equal to 0, this is kept at the W is equal to 0, and this is kept at the W is equal to 100. W is equal to 100. So after some time, after some time, this will become the W is equal to 0, and this will become the W is equal to 100, and there is the uniform distribution of the temperature. So that we have to compute at what time we have this what temperature. So we know that the governing equation of heat governing equation of the flow of the heat is the del u by del t is equal to c square del 2 u upon del x2, where c square is k upon rho sigma, with the boundary condition. So here now you have to recognize what are the boundary conditions. So it is given to you at x is equal to 0. At x is equal to 0, we have the 0 temperature ice, and at the x is equal to L, we have the 100 degree centigrade. And initially, when t is equal to 0, initially the rod is at the 50 degree centigrade. So we, by method of the separation of the variable, we know that u is function of the u is the function of x and t, which is equal to product of the two functions f and t, where f is explicit function of the x, and t is explicit function of the small t. So here, and we can write uh, uh, del u by del t as, and del u by del t we can write as a uh, f, right? F dt by dt is equal to c square, and del 2 u upon del x2 can be written as t del 2 f upon del x2. So using this, we have the equation 1 upon f del 2 f upon del x2 is equal to 1 upon c square t dt upon dt, and we assume that this can be either the positive 0 or negative. So using the three cases, we have the following three cases. We have the following three cases: del 2 f upon del x2 minus lambda square f is equal to 0, dt by dt minus c square lambda square t is equal to 0, d2 f upon dx2 is equal to 0, dt by dt is equal to 0, and d2 f upon dx2 plus lambda square f is equal to 0, and dt by dt is equal to c square lambda square t is equal to 0. So here we have the general solution of the three cases as f is equal to a e to power lambda x plus b e to power minus lambda x, and t is equal to c e to power c square lambda square t. For the case second, it is the f is equal to ax plus b and t is equal to c. And for the third, a is equal to f is equal to a cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x, and t is equal to c e to power minus c square lambda square t. The solution given by the first is admissible temperature increases indefinitely with time, because this will give you as t increase, as the t increase, the can means t tends to infinity as t increase. So that is not a case. In the second case, it is given to you the solution third by itself inadequate to give the complete solution, since temperature tends to zero as t tends to infinity. So this case also we will not consider, because it will give you t tends to t tends to 0 as t tends to infinity. So here our solution must be combination or solution of the type second and type third. So here we have the solution of from these two equations. So here we assume that uxt will be the steady state solution plus transient solution, right? So transient state solution means until unless we are not considering the steady state, and after achieving the steady state it will remain at the steady state. So we assume that we have the solution of the form us plus ut. So us and ut must be the solution, right, of type second. So second, at the second we have seen that solution is t is equal to c, a constant. So you know that after some time the rod will become the at the constant temperature. So that why we are considering that the us is governed by the second solution and ut is governed by the third solution. Now what is the boundary condition? Boundary condition first is at x is equal to 0, temperature is 0. What is the second boundary condition? At x is equal to l, u is equal to 100, right, gives the uniform gradation of the temperature. So here we have so how it is flowing. So us will become 100 upon 100 minus 0 upon l minus 0 into x minus 0. So us will become 100 upon l into x. So uxt will be 100 upon l x plus ut xt. The boundary condition the boundary and initial condition for utxt is, so it boundary condition will be the u0 x at x is equal to 0. It is the 0 plus ut at 0 ut at x is equal to 0, because at the x is equal to 0 steady state temperature is 0. So it will become the 0, and ult is equal to at x is equal to l, temperature is given to you 100, and utlt, and it is given to you, it is the 100. So utlt will also the 0, and initial condition is ux comma 0 is equal to 100 upon l x plus ut x 0, and it is given to you as a 50. So ut at x comma 0 will become 50 minus 100 upon l x. So here we have computed the initial condition for the transient temperature, right, for the transient temperature. And here we have computed the boundary condition for the transient temperature. And we know that ut is what a dash cos lambda x plus b dash sin lambda x e to power minus c square lambda square t. So when we put the first boundary condition, so with the first boundary condition we have the a dash is equal to 0. So when a dash is equal to 0, our temperature reduced to b dash sine lambda x e to power minus c square lambda square t. Then we put second boundary condition ut at x is equal to L is equal to 0. So it will give you b dash sine lambda L e to power minus c square lambda square t is equal to 0. So from here we have the conclusion sine lambda L is equal to 0 or lambda L is equal to n pi. So lambda will become n pi upon L where n is equal to 1, 2, 3. So ut will become bn sine of n pi upon L e to power minus c square n square pi square upon L square into t. So the general solution will be the ut is equal to summation n is equal to 1 to infinity bn sine of n pi x upon L e to power minus c square n square pi square L square into t. That is the ut. So from here you can uh, then after we apply the initial condition ut at t is equal to 0 will be the 50 minus 100 upon Lx, and it is equal to summation bn sine n pi L upon x. So that is nothing, that is the Fourier sine series. Fourier sine series where Bn is the Fourier coefficient, and that can be computed as 2 upon L 0 to L 50 minus 100 upon Lx into sine n pi upon Lx into dx. So when we integrate by parts, so this will be the 100 upon n pi into cos n pi plus 1. So this will become Bn is equal to 0 when n is odd, and Bn is equal to 200 upon n pi when n is even. So here Wt will come. Wt, first we compute the transient temperature. So Wt will come for n is equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on. You put, so Wt will come 100 upon pi 1 by 2 sine of 2 pi x upon L e to power minus 2 square 2 square c square pi square t upon L square plus 1 upon 4 sine of 4 pi x upon L e to power minus 4 square c square pi square upon L square, and so on. Right. So uxt will be the steady state temperature. So just we add the us plus ut. So here we have the us plus ut. Right. So in this way we determine the uh, solution of the given problem, and that's all the our syllabus. So this is the last class. Tomorrow there is no class, right? So best of luck for the comprehensive examination. If you feel any doubt, you can contact me at my mobile number. So best of luck for to all.